Welcome again to the Adapting to Project Professional 2010 video series. This is a second video in learning the new Ribbon and Fluent user interface. Let's go ahead and run Microsoft Project Professional 2010 for the first time. Now at first glance it might look fairly similar. Over here on the left hand side we have a place to enter task details. And on the right hand side we have the new Gantt chart. Now you might see in the Gantt chart some interesting looking things that will be different in 2010, such as these little brackets that are sort of blocking the start and finish of that task. And you'll notice this new task mode column. This is that new manual scheduling task feature that I was talking about in the introductory video for this series. We'll get into more details with that in another video. What we're going to focus most of our attention on are the new user interface capabilities, so you get familiar with finding your way around the product. So let's move up to the top where we see this task tab here at the top. Notice that there are no longer any drop-down menus that say Tools or Window. Now we have tabs that are focused on actions that you might take. So this tab called Task has common actions that you take to create a task or manage tasks. For example, for this particular task, I might want to set it at 50% complete. And when I click on that, you'll notice that the Gantt chart automatically got set to 50% complete. This is a feature that exists in previous versions, but it's just part of this task tab. Some other nice new features, if I click on a new row here, if I wanted to create a new task, I could just click on this new task icon, and you'll notice down here it actually created a brand new task for me. And I can just replace that stub that it created with the new task name. Now a common task that you might perform when you're in project is to create a phase and then add some tasks underneath that. And then go ahead and select the tasks that you want to indent underneath it. So you can still have that capability. But one of the things that you might want to do instead is use this new task tab to insert a summary task. So if I go ahead and click on Insert Summary Task, you'll notice that Project automatically created a stub for the summary task, and it created one new task for me. And I can go ahead and create more tasks here. I can also go ahead and just click on the milestone icon, and then down below I can go ahead and say, here's my milestone. And you notice it automatically created a 0-day duration task for me. Again, these are things that I can still do in project the way I used to do it, but there's some nice new features that are built into it. Now one of the things that you might do typically when you're working with project is go ahead and change views. So we can click on this Gantt chart drop down here and go to the calendar view. This is a nice new Outlook-like view. Network diagram. Resource sheet. Now here I'm going to pause for a moment. Notice I'm on the task tab, yet I went to the resource sheet. The reason for why you can get to this resource sheet is the Microsoft project team realized that typically people want to have easy access to their common views, independent of the tabs that they're on. Now since I'm on the task tab, the default view is Gantt chart, so I can just click on that and it'll automatically bring me back to the Gantt chart view. If I'm on the Resource tab, on the other hand, the default is Team Planner. Now we'll talk about the Team Planner in another video, but you'll notice that I have the same views available to me here. So I can still get to the Gantt chart view from the Resource tab. But I can also get to the Resource sheet. If I go to the Task tab to get to the Gantt chart, I can just click on that. So the Task and Resource tabs both have these drop downs that allow me to get to common views that we use most oftenly. Now on the subject of views, let's go ahead and click on the View tab. And you'll notice here that we have our typical task views and resource views organized nicely. And what's nice about this is I can still get to common views that I need, but they're organized a bit more, and I can easily get, for example, to the network diagram. I can get to the calendar, but it's organized. So the View tab provides more capabilities for managing my views by grouping them into common uses, and then also providing me an area where I can do things like set sorting, outlining, filtering, grouping, and the like. Okay, so I skipped right over the Project tab. If we go into the Project tab here, right now, we can see that we can click on Project Information, and this brings up our standard project information details. I can look at the work breakdown structure and set out my own work breakdown structure code, set baselines, and the like. So there's lots of features here that you're familiar with using in Project, but just again organized in a more straightforward way. There are new features in these tabs in Microsoft Project. I'm not going to get into all of those details in this video because I'm just doing this to acclimate you with the tabbed interface. Now, very often I've heard complaints about this tabbed interface kind of getting in the way. So what you can do here is just double click on the tab and it gets rid of it. Double click again and it brings it back. So you can free up some space if you'd like by clicking on those. Finally, we have this File tab, and this allows us to do things like save our project, create new projects, send this project to others, maybe do save as and save it as an older version of project. Up here at the top of the screen is a quick save button, undo, and redo. So these are just some of the common things that you might do. The last thing I'm going to show you is down here at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. This is a new zoom feature that I think you'll like a lot. So now you can zoom in and zoom out, or use the scroller bar to zoom in and zoom out as well. So that's it really for the new user interface, showing you the ribbon and the Fluent UI. We'll get into more details in the next videos that show you how to actually make use of this, set some of your defaults, and show you really some of the new features that Project provides as well, such as inactive tasks, manually scheduling tasks, and the like.